says there are two kinds of wisdom. He says that which descends from the earth is earthly. He says, and then there's the wisdom that descends from above. He says, but the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. And the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace to those that make peace. There are two kinds of wisdom. There is godly wisdom and there is earthly wisdom. Solomon began with godly wisdom, but through the course of his life, abandoned that, forsook it, and went after earthly things, sought after riches, sought after fame, sought more wisdom. He couldn't get enough, became insatiable in his quest for more. And because of that, he became a sensual king. The wisdom of God was no longer the wisdom he sought or utilized. Two kinds of wisdom. And Solomon initially asked for divine wisdom. Any man lack wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives it liberally and upbraids it not, and it shall be given to him. And move from that to him seeking earthly, sensual, demonic wisdom. The wisdom that Solomon began to seek was devilish, the Bible says. That's what James says, demonic. All wisdom is not created equal. And it is that wisdom that deceived Solomon and caused him then to begin to build altars for other gods, to bow the knee to other gods. And so in the third stage of Solomon's life, we see him a far cry from where he was in this first stage of his life. And it is out of that, from that, as a result of that, he pens the book of Ecclesiastes, because it is from there. In the book of Ecclesiastes, now we are seeing Solomon quite different. It's as if he's in the twilight of his years. And now he's looking back at his life. He's canvassing his life and he's seeing things through the lens of remorse and regret, decisions that he should have made differently. The book of Ecclesiastes, people of God, must be rightly divided by coupling the writer with the writings. Again, the book of Song of Solomon, the book of Song of Solomon was written in the beginning stages of Solomon's life. And we gave you 2 Chronicles chapter 1. When his career begins, he wants wisdom and knowledge to lead God's people. If any man lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives liberally and upbraids it not. It shall be given to him. Solomon wants wisdom. He doesn't want material things. He doesn't want riches. He doesn't want fame. He doesn't want honor. He doesn't want God to deal with his enemies. He doesn't want long life, but he just wants wisdom and knowledge. And out of that, he writes Song of Solomon. When he's going after God, when he's monogamous in his relationship, when he's monogamous and faithful and committed in his relationship with the Lord, walking after the God of David, his father. That's what we see in 2 Chronicles chapter 1. Couple that with the book of Song of Solomon, and now you see why it moves with poetic fluidity. The book of Proverbs, when Solomon was walking and operating in that wisdom. That's the second stage of his life. That's the book of Proverbs. Now we're seeing him utilize the wisdom that he had been given. Now you see him operating in that wisdom. Hence the wisdom of Proverbs. The second stage of his life. But between the book of Proverbs and the book of Ecclesiastes, there is 1 Kings chapter 11. Solomon loved strange women. There is 1 Kings chapter 11. There is 1 Kings chapter 11. And because of all of those wives, and because of all of those princesses, and because of all of those concubines, and they all from foreign women, the Bible says, foreign women, strange women, who did not bow to Jehovah, but who bowed to other gods. And when you read 1 Kings chapter 11, you will see clearly him spiraling into depravity, into debauchery. 1 Kings chapter 11, going after the gods of the Moabites, the Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites. Every marriage to these strange women, he adopted their gods. He built and erected altars. This was in his latter stages. He's left the wisdom of God. James talks about two kinds of wisdom. The wisdom that is of the earth, that it descends not from above, but from the earth. It is sensual, James says, and devilish. It can deceive, and it can deceive itself. It can deceive you to thinking that it's godly wisdom. It's devilish, because its goal is to lead you into yourself, away from God, away from dependency upon him, and into this insatiable appetite for wanting more, so that you can be your own God and lead you on a course of apostasy. That's why it's devilish, it's demonic. It's that wisdom that corrupted Solomon. And so as he, with his 700 wives, his princesses and 300 concubines, and adopting their gods, each one of them, it became such a quagmire of confusion and conflict and strife and inner turmoil. That's what James says that wisdom produces: strife, envying, confusion, and every evil work. The side effects of earthly wisdom. Imagine the confusion in his life with all of those women and all of those concubines and all of those princesses, strife and contention, and that what was going on inside of Solomon. And so by the time you look around, and as he is older and looking at his life from that vantage point, Solomon sees nothing but regret and remorse, because with all of that sensuality, with all of that wisdom and fame and popularity and notoriety and riches, he said, it's all vanity. It's empty. I found nothing. I found pleasure, but I found no fulfillment. I found pleasure, but I found futility.